What up? This is Ramashkin covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of I Wanna Dance with Somebody. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell, so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. Let's rock this. Alrighty folks, exactly 10 years after her untimely death, we finally receive a proper biopic about the late great Whitney Houston. And what's my verdict? Well, first off, let me give you a bit of context. I, just like millions of you, was also a huge fan of Whitney Houston. I mean, in terms of a force of nature, she was one of a kind. Now, don't get me wrong, there were a bunch of great singers out there, but Whitney could hold a note like no other, you know what I mean? It's as if the universe gave that gift specifically to Whitney and Whitney alone. What I'm getting at is, going in, I had my concerns because how on earth could any actress replicate such a bold, vivacious presence that Whitney exuded? Well, turns out Naomi Aki brilliantly gets as close to that as anybody could ever hope for. Yeah, she's lip syncing here, since nobody can pin down Whitney's exact vocals, but Naomi does a hell of a good job with the lip syncing. Very spot on and very convincing. Naomi shines and embodies Whitney, complete with her charms and her demons. Having said that, there are parts about this movie that rub me the wrong way, so stick around. Written by Anthony McCartan and directed by Cassie Lemons and produced by legendary music executive Clive Davis, I Wanna Dance with Somebody is a no-holds-barred portrait of the complex and multifaceted woman behind the voice. From New Jersey choir girl to one of the best-selling and most awarded recording artists of all time, audiences are taken on an inspirational, poignant, and emotional journey through Whitney Houston's trailblazing life and career, with show-stopping performances and a soundtrack of the icon's most beloved hits as you've never heard them before. So, as I said in the synopsis, I Wanna Dance with Somebody is produced by Whitney's old manager Clive Davis, who is portrayed in this film by none other than Oscar nominee Stanley Tucci. And you know what? The moments that Whitney and Clive share together, collaborating, picking out their next songs, are quite possibly my favorite highlights. And both Naomi and Stanley play that dynamic with such friendly, personable warmth, as if they could just be themselves in front of each other. The problem I have with this movie is the same problem I have with any birth to death biopic. I mean, with a 2.5 hour runtime, holy smokes, I Wanna Dance with Somebody is mostly about recreating one life event after another. It's like, ooh, how many Whitney Houston music videos can we jam back into this one film? And it feels like they just bulldoze or skim through a bunch of them too, resulting in the script not being able to capitalize on its few truly worthy dramatic points. The conflict with her dad, for example, and the conflict with Bobby Brown, another example. They become nothing more than these small pockets of soap operas in between whatever milestone that they're so obsessed with bringing to the screen. I Wanna Dance with Somebody has the potential to be great, and Naomi's performance is wonderful, as I implied earlier. But the way the story is structured, the build-up and the payoff fall into the traps and the cliches of your usual generic music biopic. And here's what's hilarious. Even with that priority of trying to capture every single one of Whitney's milestones, they still managed to forget to include the Whitney-Mariah Carey's When You Believe iconic duet. It's unbelievable. What a damn shame. But do I think that this movie is easily gonna be this season's feel-good crowd pleaser? Absolutely. Whitney Houston's fans are gonna love it. They're gonna eat this up. The critics be damned. I mean, despite its weaknesses, I Wanna Dance with Somebody does succeed in making it feel like a celebration of life. Especially its last few minutes that make us realize how much a magnificent talent of Whitney's caliber is sorely missed these days.